Hi, hello coloring besties. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be sitting down and doing a little bit of coloring, and we're going to be using my Copic markers for the very first time, like coloring with them for the very first time. So I'm a little nervous. I'm very excited. I don't know what to expect. I know that it's going to be like a higher quality product, I'm assuming, right? Because if we look at the price point, they are higher priced than a hoo hoo. So I'm going to assume that it is a higher quality product for the price. Now, with that being said, I am nervous because it's like a new art form, a new art material that I've never used before. So, you know, there's a lot of mechanisms that you need to learn and how to properly use them, because as an avid user of a hoo hoo markers for almost 2 years now, I feel like I've got it down pat. I feel like I know what I'm doing. I feel like I'm in my rhythm. And to be picking up these markers now feels like a creative challenge. And one thing about me, I love creative challenges. So without further ado, let's get cozy and let's set up my coloring space to do some coloring together. I'm going to put a full review of the markers at the end of the video. So this video will be quite a bit longer, which my goal for 2026 is to get into a lot longer form content because it's more cozy. I love it. I feel like I'm besties with you guys rather than like my little short form videos. So with that being said, grab some blankets. If you want to color during this video, highly suggest. If you want to color the same page as me, I'm going to go over everything that I use at the beginning of the video. But let's sit down and do some comfy cozy coloring together. Okay. Okay, I just finished coloring with them and I kind of want to talk a little bit about the markers and like how I used them and how I felt using them and all of the things. So I absolutely loved using them. They are amazing markers. It brings me back to when I first got my Ohuhu alcohol markers because I felt like I had no idea what I was doing. So that's kind of like how I feel about these Copic markers because they feel completely different to me. Like, it is a completely different game. It's a completely different realm with the Copic markers compared to Ohuhu. And I feel like I'm like learning how to use a new medium again. And it's crazy because I haven't had a challenge like this in quite a minute, like creativity wise. I don't know like how I would describe it, right? I've been coloring with Ohuhu markers for almost 2 years now, so I feel like I kind of have my rhythm. I can go really fast, but like with my Copic markers, I have to go really slow because again, it just feels different. I don't know like how to describe, like it feels higher quality, but at the same time, it is alcohol markers, so like there is a comparison that you can make to it, but it feels more high quality. Like you have to go slower. The tips aren't as like movable, I want to say, as Ohuhu markers. Like the brush tip on the Copic marker is very, very firm. So if you want to do like a thicker amount of space, like color a thicker amount of space, you have to tilt the marker to the side. And you can't use like the very tip of the brush as like a fine point, if that makes sense. Like you have to use the chisel side and adjust as needed. I was kind of expecting them to color the same way as Ohuhu markers, but I guess you can't assume that because the price points are completely different. Like this pack of 78 is 140 but this is the Chow set, so they have their Chow set and then their sketch set. I'm like slowly educating myself on all of the different sets like I had to do for Ohuhu. Like I feel like I completely understand Ohuhu sets now, but now I'm like learning Copic sets that they offer. And this is, I want to say like their beginner set into Copic, which for me, getting into Ohuhu was like the basic 48 pack, so it feels very like nostalgic of like, this feels like the 48 pack of Ohuhu. Like the colors are very similar. And I'm already like, I want more of these markers. I need more colors because the color palette that I just did on this page, it's okay, right? It's okay, but I like need more markers. And the girlies that color will understand that you need more markers. It's just bringing up all old feelings of like when I first bought my Ohuhu alcohol markers, because I feel like I have so much I'm going to learn with my Copic markers. I will say, if you are looking to purchase them, it is a creative challenge, right? It will creative challenge you. If you are new to alcohol markers, I would suggest starting with Ohuhu and then working your way up to Copic. But if you just want to like full send and like jump and start the challenge, go ahead and get yourself some Copic markers because the color schemes are beautiful. Like, don't get me wrong, the color scheme is beautiful. All of these colors are stunning. Did you guys see the pastel colors that are in it? It's amazing. It feels so crazy because I feel like I have no idea what I'm doing when I color with these markers. A little backstory about Copic markers in my life growing up. So growing up, I always just had like water-based markers, so Crayola, Crazy Art, sometimes like the Hobby Lobby brand water-based markers. And it's not until truly 2 years ago when I started to invest in Ohuhu that I learned about alcohol markers and the difference between water-based markers and alcohol-based markers. And it's literally what it sounds like. The Crayola Crazy Art, just your basic marker, is made with water. The main ingredient is water, as where alcohol markers, rubbing alcohol is used in them. Now the difference between water and alcohol, like markers, is the water immediately dries right away. There's no really time to blend. There's no time to build. Oh gosh, that scared me. Oh my gosh, that just scared me so bad. Okay. alcohol markers allows you to blend, build, all of the things. And I would always watch like sketch vlogs, because at the time of me like in YouTube hood was the time of like Draw My Lives. I was obsessed with watching Draw My Lives of creators that I just like didn't even know. I would watch their Draw My Lives on like whiteboards. Some people did animation, some people did drawing, some people did them in like pastel form. But then that's when I started to discover Copic markers, and this like vision, this brand to me was something that was like extremely elevated, something that like I was never going to have, and it almost like I romanticized having that art supply, because for so long I had many art supplies. Like Crayola was my main, Crazy Art was my main. So when I would watch these Copic videos, I'd be like, oh my gosh, it was like a little childhood dream. Little cat was like, one day I will have these markers. So to be sitting here at the ripe age of 26 and owning my first pair of Copic markers is crazy, because I am a person who's very frugal. I don't like to spend a lot of money on myself. I try to live a very minimalistic lifestyle. And I just, even in my teens and my like young adulthood, young 20s, I would say, I never was like, I'm gonna spend, you know, $150 on some markers and that's gonna be it. I'm grateful to be in the position that I am, that I started posting my coloring journey, and who has worked with me time and time again was like, here, have a bunch of markers, and I'm like, thank you, I'm so grateful, I love you guys, and I will continue to just keep talk about your products, because I absolutely love them and I'm forever grateful. So this is like the first time where I'm like, I'm going to invest in something in myself, for my business, for my creative journey. So this is really cool. I just am so excited to be here. Let's get into the little review that I curated for you guys. But how I look at it is, I thought the same thing when I first got my hoo-hoo markers, and here I am. I feel like I know my rhythm, I know my routine, I know how to use the hoo-hoo markers, I know how to blend, I know how to build. But like with Copic markers, your girl has no idea how to build, how to blend, how to turn it to the side to color, which is fun, and it's gonna be a new creative challenge for us to experience together. With all that to be said, let me know in the comments below if there are things that you want to see more with my Copic markers. Let me know if you have any tips for me for Copic markers. My Copic users, lovers, let me know. But this was so exciting, and genuinely so excited to have these in my art collection. Copic, you have created a stunning, beautiful product. I am so ecstatic to use in my art studio and to make videos about, and to share my experience and to share my creative process. Make sure to give this a like, a comment below, and stay subscribed for more coloring, more yapping, more vlogs to come. I will talk to you guys later. Goodbye.